Well, hello there. Jared from Photo to Canvas here. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Today we are going to talk about image sharpening. Now, I know there's already a ton of videos about this software on YouTube, but I've never used it, and I don't know if my subscribers have used it, and I know everybody's experience with it is a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and run through it, and we'll see how it comes out. So last year I was sifting through some images of mine from past trips, and I came across a photo that I really liked that I had never really paid much attention to in the past. And I got really excited about it. I just had looked at it basically on an iPad on a small screen. I thought it was great. I shared it online. I got a really good response from it. And I decided that it would look absolutely awesome over my bed in a large canvas print. So once I looked at it a little bit closer, I noticed that it was slightly out of focus, and it just really bummed me out because I love this photo, but I couldn't print it that large and hang it and be happy with it, knowing that it was this little bit out of focus. So I've become a huge fan of Topaz software. I use Gigapixel constantly for my enlargement for my shop, and I wanted to test their Sharpen software. I got a really good deal. Today is Black Friday. I got a really good deal on buying the rest of their suite. So I figured I would run this photo that I'm talking about through their Sharpen software, see if I can enlarge it, see if I can make it big enough to print where I want it. And I thought I'd take you guys along with me. So here we go. So I went into Topaz Sharpen AI and I realized that I didn't know if it would be better to enlarge the image first or if it would be better to sharpen the image first. So I decided to step back a second and tell you guys that I'm going to try both methods. So if you keep watching the video all the way through, you'll see the method where I get the image, enlarge it, then try to sharpen it, and then you'll see the method where I sharpen the image, then enlarge it, and we'll see which gives us better results. All right, so here we are in Gigapixel AI trying to enlarge the image before we sharpen it. Now, this image is not, I usually with a photo do standard or low resolution. This is not a low resolution image, but it's motion blur because I shot it handheld. That is why I'm out of focus. So we're gonna just use standard. I'm just gonna go with the auto settings. I think standard looks better than low resolution. I have it set to 40 inches wide. I'm gonna go 20 by 40 ideally with this print. So standard 40 inches wide at 300 pixels per inch is what I'm going to print at, and let's go with that. All right, so here we are back in Photoshop with the enlarged image, and now we are going to go up. So Gigapixel works through the automate folder. Now I spent like a half an hour trying to figure out where my Topaz plugins were, so just keep in mind that this one is through filter. So Topaz Sharpen AI. All right, so this is basically the same setup as we had with Gigapixel. 4 different settings on the screen. We have motion blur normal, standard, out of focus normal, and motion blur very blurry. And you have all these different settings that you can change. This right here, I believe, is a mask of what it's actually sharpening. And I'm gonna just set that to landscapes. Just to keep this quick, I'm trying to use pretty much the automated methods, so people that don't have a ton of experience with this stuff, including myself with this software, have an easier time making their way around it. So for these 4, this is at 100% viewed. Motion blur normal. I'm just looking at this branch right here, and it doesn't look horrible. Granted, I'm a foot away from my screen, maybe a foot and a half, so I'm not going to be looking at it this close when it's hung on my wall by any means. Going over to standard is it looks a little bit sharper, but it's also a little bit noisier. Looking kind of up here, it looks a little bit blurry to me. Like the noise suppression is a little bit high, so I am actually going to turn that down a little bit on the standard version. I think I turned it down. Yeah, I accidentally turned it down on motion blur.
So let me set that back up to where it was. You have to have the screen selected that you want to adjust on. Yeah, for standard, I'm going to turn suppress noise and remove artifacts down just a hair. Okay, so I'm going to go with this standard with these as my settings, and we're going to see what it looks like. I should have, because when you use Gigapixel, it creates a new layer. So knowing that it did it this way now, next time I will create another layer. So my adjustment is on a different layer, allowing me to quickly view the difference. But we will be able to compare this against the original anyways. This is about life size. Usually, well, if I set this to about 70% on my screen, 1 inch is about 1 inch in life size. I'm going to say this is totally acceptable. I would 100% print this and hang on my wall. And I'm going to. I'm stoked. That's awesome. All right, so let's do it the other way. Let's run it where we do the sharpen first and then enlarge and see what happens. Yeehaw! I did want to do a quick side-by-side before we go at this, the other method. So this left side is the original image. This right side is the one that we've enlarged with Gigapixel and run through Sharpen AI. And looking at this tree in here, the detail is significantly better. And this is, again, this is about my life size, viewed at 60, just under 67%. So yeah, I think that's interesting. The software definitely does wonders. So, all right, let's try the other method. All right, so here we are. Now we're gonna do the sharpening first, then the enlarging. So this is our other finished file. So we're gonna go with this one, to filter. All right, now I have these same settings up. Last time I believe we just did standard. Because our last one was bigger, we could see more. It was more zoomed in, so I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Motion blur normal. Yeah, those are the lowered settings that I had picked. I think we're gonna stick with those, so we have pretty good results. All right. Now, I forgot I was gonna add a new layer to this one, and I didn't. So again, we just have to compare back to the original file. So now we're gonna run this one through Gigapixel. All right, we're gonna go 40 inches. I believe last time we just did standard as well. Already pretty sure that the other one is gonna look better. I'm gonna go with standard actually. I think this stuff looks a little better in standard than it does in low resolution. All right, 40 inches wide. All right, so this is the one that we enlarged first, then sharpened. This is the one that we sharpened, then enlarged. They're pretty close, very close. Very similar, but I think I like the right one better. So that's the one that's trees enlarged first and sharpened after, all using Topaz software. I'm incredibly happy with the results. We've already compared this one to the original, so we're not gonna bother doing that again. But yeah, really happy with the results here. Excited to be able to use this on my customers' images.
All right, well, as you can see, the software is completely amazing. So we're gonna go ahead and print this and we'll see how it comes out. Here it is. Came out fantastic. I think the only way it could have come out better is if I had shot it properly in the first time. So Topaz Sharpen AI and Topaz Gigapixel AI, the combination, saved this picture. I wouldn't have been able to print it otherwise. So thumbs up, double thumbs up. Tomorrow we stretch. All right, folks, here it is. I am super happy with it. It looks wonderful from, viewing distance is going to be 6 to 8 feet away, you could never tell the difference. You could never tell that it was at one point not sharp. So yeah, wonderful things to say about Topaz Sharpen AI. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and that's it. Have a great day. Thanks.